Hello everyone, this is Marcy, and welcome to another video. This time we're going to be talking about the Thiwaproma Phonology. This was from a comment I read that someone was interested in learning about the Thiwaproma Phonology, so here you are. I'm going to do more videos like this eventually, like PowerPoint presentation-esque, and also kind of just talking about a particular part of a project that I'm working on. I prefer to do that instead of giving a full, really long video that's probably like 20 plus minutes long about the language or world. Because, first of all, this style of making videos where I just freely, off script, like I have no script at all, reading, I prefer doing that. And also, it'll save me a lot more time because I don't have as much time as I'd like. So yeah, this gives me a lot more breathing room between all the things I have to do. So yeah, right here you could see in the title screen there is Magaklagwaya, the script of Thiwaproma, and this reads Thiwaproma Labunga Chatra, which means the Thiwaproma sounds, essentially. That's what Labunga Chatra mean, the speaking sounds, the phonemes. And below, by Marcy, or in Thiwaproma, Mazija. All right, let's begin. Here is the inventory. The phoneme inventory is pretty standard, I guess you could say, in terms of like conlanging. They're very Englishy consonants, as you could see. I guess the one thing to remark is the palatal nasal, the nya over there. I guess also the dental fricatives, if you want to also point that out, because that's not too common a phoneme in the real world, but you know, what the heck, I really love that phoneme personally. Those are the consonants. Down below, we have the vowels and the diphthongs. You could see that there's rounded vowels, and also nasal vowels. So there is a unrounded rounded distinction, but also a nasal distinction. A lot of vowels. I think if I were to count this, that would total up to, yeah, that's 7. 7 vowels total, if I counted it right. No, wait, I didn't count right. That's 11. 11 plain vowels. Well, not plain. You get the idea. And on the side we have the diphthongs. Which one of those pairs of vowels, like where the non-syllabic vowel lies, is very fluid. It's not set in stone. So it could be, say, let's say that ua sequence. It could be either ua or ua. It's very it's kind of up to feeling, really. So that's Thiwaproma's phonemic inventory. There's not much to really talk about here. There's more to talk about over on the phonotactics. Starting off with the syllable structure, I did my best to notate the syllable structure. If any of you have knowledge of notating syllable structure, do let me know down in the comments, because I want to more succinctly represent the syllable structure of all of my language as best I can, all the possible combinations within one notation. I'd very much like to know about that, so yeah. To any of you out there who know about this, in the comments, please. Moving on, syllables in Thiwaproma are usually CV, CVC, or CW, W being the set of vowels right there. Thiwaproma does, however, allow double onset word initial clusters, so like st, pr, that kind of stuff, that's permitted, but only at the beginning of words, and disallows word final codas. The stress in Thiwaproma is iambic. It is always iambic at the beginning of the word, and when the word ends, it stops the iambic feat, essentially. It stops the iambic pattern, it breaks it. So we get this kind of up and down feeling when you speak Thiwaproma, and it is further aided with its stress timing, being that stressed syllables are noticeably longer than unstressed syllables. And unstressed syllables, as said here, are prone to vowel reduction. So things could be much laxer in terms of vowel quality, and also they would also be very prone to be reduced to schwa. The rest of the phonotactics down below, I'm sure you have read it yourself. I'm not going to read everything out for you. However, I do want to point out the liaison bit down below here. The consonants p, f, and k are the only ones that are allowed to end a word. The rest of the consonants kind of still exist, but are not spoken. They exist as these ghost consonants. If you're familiar with French, then you'd probably get the gist of what I'm saying. Single consonants at the end of French words are written, but they're not pronounced. This is the same case for Thiwaproma. These ghost consonants only reappear if the following word begins in a vowel. Again, mirroring French. That is the greatest, I guess you could say, resource or inspiration for this language. I wanted to make Thiwaproma sound like French in a way. It doesn't sound like French, granted, but it's still got a few of the features you can see by the rounded vowels and the nasalization. And I'd still say that the sound of Thiwaproma is very, very interesting and unique. Before we conclude, I just want to kind of analyze phonetically these example words over here, just to kind of cement what we've talked about in this video. So, starting off with Srijapro. Srijapro means friend in Thiwaproma, and as you can see, there's the double consonant cluster right there at the beginning. Sra. Then we have Japro at the next part. Japro, it was supposed to be, at least in the earlier iterations of this language, it used to be Jabro with a b, a voiced plosive. Instead, it's devoiced because, there goes those phonotactics again. You can't have a voiced obstruent before a liquid. Next, we have Ojagamo. Ojagamo means world, or the world that they live in, essentially. You could see that word final en, it's permitted because it's the stressed syllable. And you could also have that good feel, that the stress timing and the iambic nature of this language. Ojagamo. Next up is Bachidbiro. One of the phonotactics dictates that the following onset dictates the preceding obstruent's voicing, essentially. Because it's ba in biro, it became bachith biro, essentially. If it were a p, then it'll be bachith piro. Ogodami and ugodamilia. This is a way to show the ghost consonant phenomena I was talking about. There is an L after ugodami, essentially. Essentially, it doesn't really exist even in this form of the word, but in ogodamilia, you could see it reappearing because there used to be an L there, essentially. But, stress timing and some other shenanigans with phonoevolution. Is that a word? With this language's phonological evolution, this kind of made the L just drop out from this word. But it resurfaced in this form of the word. The former, ugodami, means to unite. So ugodamilia is unity. The last two examples are two lunar nouns with their respective affixed forms. I won't go into the specifics, but the affixed form of these lunar nouns are only for lunar nouns, and they pertain to particular cases for the lunar nouns. As you can see, they look very different for an affixed form, especially when it's just adding an F at the beginning, the FI sequence over there, the phi. But this kind of demonstrates that stress is constantly iambic, even when the affix, exists in the word, and it also shows how much stress kind of dictates what a word could look like in Thiwaproma. So the first one we have is Wame Guyu. Wame Guyu is calendar. And down below, Fiwesh Maguire, that is its affixed form. And as you could see, totally different. Wame Guyu and Wesh Maguire. You could also see that the stress is different, from Wame to Weshme. The sh that appeared in between the we and me syllables, I will not explain fully in this video. It has something to do with the phonological evolution of this language, but you could see just by pairing them up that because we in the first unaffixed form is unstressed, it cannot have this sh. So because that it received this stress when it was affixed with fiwesh, it can have this coda sh sound essentially. And lastly, we have the very name of the language itself, Thiwaproma, and its affixed form is Thiwaproma. Again, you could feel the stress has shifted. And again, there's the voicing between the vowels. The thi became the, and there's a diphthong as well. Thi versus thea. So this concludes my little video presentation about Thiwaproma Phonology. I hope you guys found this interesting. I will do more of this in the future, more of these kind of like PowerPoint style presentations, and I'll tackle more things about Thiwaproma and my other languages that I've made, and I'll also do the same for my worlds that I have also been developing. Overall, I hope you find this video to your liking, and if there's anything you'd like me to talk about, be it from Thiwaproma, conlanging, or even about my world, I'm always open. I'd love to reply to comments if there are any, and I would also like to make videos if I feel like it's video worthy. Till then, hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are on the world, and I'll see you next time. Yab yab.